Having too much fun over there, yo.
I want that cost. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your Reynolds Vinci is white. Limited Louis that's light.
Brooklyn filter.
LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light.
What was wrong with you, yo?
Bank account looking like
I was asleep.
I'm on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get fuck you with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj.
You sleepy, yo.
Dory ain't gonna let you slide you.
I want you to know that.
City, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse.
Sit into my phone, nigga.
FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the lines. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check and to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call, for real. I want that cost. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your Reynolds Vinci is white. Limited Louis that's light. Right from the city that's light.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Denver Broncos. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And some space here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Hey, Mr. Contestant.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Oh, that rock. Oh, that rock.
Now they'll throw with Keenum. Looking long for Thomas. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun snap for Keenan. Oh, almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Jackson on first down. Drops it underneath for Collins. Room past the 20. That's good for a Raven first down. 15 yards there.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Wolfe able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Okay, man.
After the sack here, second
like
and 11.
44 defense against this shit. Still got linebackers out there. Okay. Let's go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he's going to go down again.
Come on, 91 speed for what?
In there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a third and long. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Okay, we see how you want to play, buddy.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Broncos is Isaiah McKenzie. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A first update now out of Jacksonville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. On first down, Keenan. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. He'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You can feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts, to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And down inside the 15 he goes. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. To throw is Jackson. His pass caught at the 4. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a third down. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
I don't have that play, huh? Here we go, B.
Detroit! Detroit! Black 99 Philly, here we go! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun on third down, Jackson. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. On the return, it's McKenzie. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Hey, yo, let's go!
Keenum now on first down. They set up the screen to Booker. And they take him down, losing yards back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Roger. Hey, orange. Hey, 52. 4 down, 52.
From the gun, it's Keenum. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. It's intercepted. Thomas, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Black 99 Philly, here we go!
Here's carry number 1 for Kenneth Dixon. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Jackson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you get the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Perfect.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Von Miller. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Jackson. Pressure gets to him again. Derek Wolfe in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Sam Cook now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer.
Back, baby. Boy, let's get it.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. In his own end zone, it's Keenum. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. To throw on second down is Keenum. Complete outright to Jake Butt. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, yeah, nice cut, buddy.
Try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the Ravens taking the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On first down, they go with Dixon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down, Jackson. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. First catch of the game for Crabtree. It's a first down.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. Crabtree with it over the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Open space inside the 10. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Appreciate y'all coming through.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away.
I want to be the next big YouTuber. PewDiePie 2.0, sir.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
PewDiePie 2.0,
now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
Now it's Freeman. They find some open field here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Freeman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 30.
Come on, fam.
This is Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to
got
be
a fucking
stopped
shoot
before
spot.
he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Jackson. Allen here on the screen. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Play action. It's Jackson. Brought in left side by Snead. That's good for a Raven first down. 15 yards there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Always got some breathing room. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This young man is terrible.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
They go play action now. Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Keep getting fucking sacked on dumb shit, man.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
From the gun, Jackson.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Intercepted. Sewell Cravens with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Keenum. Being chased out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Willie Henry in there to drop him for a loss on the play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
Got him in. He finds Sanders. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Yo, the man has on shoe clock, bro. Like, come on, fam.
Keenum now on first down. Able to get away. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. And after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Heads in the water, fellas. Go get that quarterback.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Drops it underneath for Booker. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On first down, Keenum. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
That's what you're not using.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Elsewhere, they have gone to the second half in Carolina. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll run with Booker. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, Keenum. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos draw a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
5 minutes, bro.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Crabtree has it. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now he'll escape to his right. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3.
Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Jackson on first down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Booker on first down. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Willie Henry in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Able to shift. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket.
He hooked it in there. Damn.
Okay, are we bringing in extra people? Does he get out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
The return man, Chris Moore. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now it's Jackson. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. This quarterback now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st down. Play action. Now Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven 1st.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Jackson on 2nd down. And he can't get a throw he's taken down. DeMarcus Walker in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 4th now in Minneapolis. And it's the Vikings that have taken the lead there in the late stages. A win would be their first of the young season.
Oh, my ex is living.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Here's Jackson. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Yeah.
Max Williams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
Do we have a pallet?
Tucker now for the extra point.
Tucker with the
extra point.
That shit, motherfucker.
That makes it a 21-10 game.
Motherfucker.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away.
No comeback season today, boyo.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he
Get
doesn't
this
possess the
man
eye
up
discipline
out
to
of
be
here.
an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good,
Be
solid
perfect.
yardage.
Please,
He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. As you know what coaches always tell us, we want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Baltimore, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. Nigga. $158.3, boyo. Eagles didn't really do shit today. All good though. They had on 2 o'clock the whole motherfucking game, boy. Oof. Yeesh. That's terrible, son. We gave up 6 sacks on the line alone. Terrible, man. Look at Willie Henry, though. Pierce, Suggs, and Mosley. You all got there, boy. Free with the pick. Two bitches down, nigga. Yeah. Fake. Where's the field goal? That block right there. Get out of here. Whoopsie. What with the piss naive, boy?
Hey, what's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, get the rest. Hey, I got that check-in to go. I'm gone. A lot of these was lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be out. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up. The big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check-in to golf. A lot of these was lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your.